remember, Suella Braverman makes the Tory Party MPs feel uncomfortable, but the Tory Party MPs, I mean, Matt Goodwin has shown research into this. Tory MPs are to the left, not only of Tory voters, but they're actually to the left of the British public on key issues like immigration. Suella Braverman far closer to what the average British person, to what the average viewer of Talk TV believes.
Absolutely.
And we know from the polling that 75% of Tory voters absolutely supported Suella Braverman. And yet here we have Sunak trying to allegedly shore up the blue wall and sacrifice the red wall in an attempt to appear more centrist and relevant. The fact is, he's betraying all of those 2019 voters who voted for this government, only 38% of whom have a good opinion of David Cameron.
Exactly.
Versus 75%
but this is it.
who like Suella Braverman.
I mean, Peter Hitchens and I have talked about Cameron over many years, that he was the beginning of the sort of Blairisation of the Labour Party, of the Conservative Party, that he was the beginning of all of that, let's care about the planet, let's go and hug a hoodie, let's be soft on crime, let's actually be more community-minded, all of the stuff that they've all now got.
David Cameron is the grim reaper of British conservatism. He killed it in 2010, and with Suella out the door now, it's as if he's come back to kill off any hope of a Conservative revival.
Yes.
Norman Tebbit called him the Pol Potts of the Tory Party, trying to purge every memory of Thatcher. The year zero of Conservatism, resetting it, essentially killed off any hopes that we have ever had in this country of seeing a revival of Toryism. Since Cameron, the Tory Party has been like a zombie, staggering around like one of those insects with a parasite in its brain, and that parasite is the ideology of New Labour.
Can I say he didn't just kill off the Tory Party, he killed off politics. Now, I can give you a whole list of things I think's wrong with David Cameron, but of course he's the architect of the nudge unit. It is when David
Did he
Cameron
start that as well?
I'm afraid so. It's when he was Prime Minister that he set up the Behavioural Insights team. And you see, Claire Fox talked before about how this is technocracy. I mean, it really is. It feels like we're in a post-democratic, technocratic stage of our civilizational decline here. But I think it really dates back to then, because that was when they decided that instead of using Parliament to debate things, instead of persuading the population of what's right and in fact then enacting what the population wants as set out in a manifesto. No, what they would do is try to subliminally influence people towards policy goals. It was, really undemocratic to embed behavioural science in government, and that was under David Cameron.
Well, that is another reason not to want him back, isn't it, if you'd ever wanted any more than that. But, I mean, are they now supposedly going to tell us that they've given up on all of these other views, these right-wing attempts at fixing the economy, trying to cut taxes? They don't have to do that now if they're in the middle, do they? They can say, well, we can't do that. They don't have to stop the boats. I mean, we've got a story tonight about £40 million being spent by the French, our money, which we gave them, on things like vacuum cleaners, helicopters and, bizarrely for the French, of course, riding boots. You've got to wear riding boots if you're in the French border force, haven't you?
They're also spending money...
horses.
They're also spending the money protecting the Italian-French border, rather than our own border.
Well, funnily enough, forget the Schengen agreement. They've decided they can actually be better off with the border between Italy and France, which is a very nice part of the world, by the way. It's the one part where you can go to lunch in one country and have dinner in the other country, and you've only had to walk a very short distance. But, yeah...
I mean it's a huge sum of money, and, of course, we're going to be committing a lot more money to this agreement. We've only just started. There's about £40 million so far and 500 and something million euros still to come. I mean, how many more car vacuum cleaners are they going to be buying? And microwaves.
Yes.
Microwaves. I don't know how that stops the small boats.
Well, it helps to keep the guys who are not stopping them fed. I think that's probably what we do. And what we also know, thanks to an Express investigation, is that they spend an awful lot of time in nightclubs and bars on the sort of Normandy coast, spending UK taxpayers' money, having a great time.
It's a complete joke. We should do what the Belgians do. The Belgians intercept boats in the water
all the time.
The French have this very weird interpretation of maritime law where they don't go into the water.
No,
it's about time they did that.
It ruins the riding boots, Rafe. We have some sympathy. It's not good for the leather.
But if they don't do it, we should do it, We came over for Dunkirk. No problem at all to save 100,000 Frenchmen. They owe us.
Yes.
If they're not prepared to guard their own waters, we'll do it for them.
We do Dunkirk.
We can even bring the boats, get some Dunkirk spirit going the other way.
Dunkirk in reverse. Absolutely right. It's got to be done. Rafe, thank you very much.